friends, welcome back to my channel. Here today with our day 3 check-in. We've been reading The Village Weavers by Miriam J. A. Chansey. This is our group read for CaribAThon 2024. And so if you're here for the day 3 check-in, welcome. If this is your first time watching one of these videos, maybe you want to go back and watch the first in the series. We're reading this book over the course of a few days, about a week. So we're reading about 50 pages each day. A little less than 50 is our average. But we are now up to page 136, so we stopped in the middle of a chapter. We are up to the section that starts with Port-au-Prince, Paris, 1961. So that's where I am. That's where we're going to be talking up to. In this section, we do get a little bit of that change in timeline. We are visiting Cece as an adult, a little bit about her relationship with her husband and how that seems to be unraveling. Even as she gets a little bit more maybe focused on her role as a mother, she's not feeling as fulfilled as a wife. And that's interesting. So there's a little bit of the background of her marriage where we learn that her husband is a white man, and because she is probably white passing, she's been kind of integrated into the American life based on the fact that her husband is a white doctor, and nobody thinks to question, because why would a white doctor, even though he's a vet, why would a white doctor marry someone who's not a white woman? And that question, the rhetoric there, of course it gave me pause, but it made me think, wow. And so we see Cece having these kind of existential, not crisis so much, but questions. These existential questions are there at the base of her marriage. And so it's almost no wonder why she seems to be following the birds. The birds falling out of the sky mirror the end or doom of her marriage. So there's that. But I like how the author gives us these two ways to see Cece, as a mature woman, of course, but also as a young girl in Haiti, and some of the things that she lived through even as a young person. Her experience as a child in Haiti definitely being colored by the politics of the time. So there are a few political events that happen, and I like that the author presents them through the perspective of a young child. The way a child will be aware of what is going on, but also overlaying these very significant historical events with their own stuff, right? So there's a significant event that happens, and it is Port-au-Prince. Let me see where it starts. So in this edition of the book, the scene starts on page 114. It is Port-au-Prince, 1949 to 1950, and it is about the World Expo that is happening in Haiti at this time. And Cece gets invited to attend with her friend and her friend's boyfriend and the family. And for her, at least at first, it is just an opportunity to go somewhere that her family wouldn't normally have let her go. But there's a little bit of pushing the limits of the truth, so that her mother, the friend's mother, seems to be being touted as the chaperone, even though she has no intention or has even agreed to really supervise this child. So I guess she's not a child anymore, she's a teenager. And so Cece and Lou, her friend, go to this concert, and they're there, and there's this encounter that becomes the overarching memory that Cece has of this event, even though the event goes on to be a pretty significant point in the politics of the time. It becomes almost a political gathering because the performers are political activists in their own right, and so this concert is known for so much more. But we see Cece being dominated, but we see Cece's thoughts being dominated by what happened between her and her friend. That becomes her memory. That becomes the reason that this date or this event is significant for her, even though these very important politics are happening. So I like that the author does this, because she's giving us the background of the politics, but giving us an opportunity to see it through the eyes, through the perspective of someone who is young, and so not necessarily aware of how how important these things, these moments are. So I like how the author is almost giving the reader an opportunity to come to our own conclusions or form our own opinions about this, because the main character that we are following at this time is almost removed from the event. Like she is consumed with the emotions of the time, what it means for her on a personal level, therefore almost pushing the politics to the forefront, but giving it to the reader to take charge of. I like that. I think it's a really interesting literary device. I think it's something that authors are able to achieve when they use children as their main characters or narrators, and so I think that's done really well here. There's also mention of, again, the political divide between Haiti and the Dominican Republic, and so there is reference to this massacre of Haitian workers under, or rumored massacre of Haitian workers under Trujillo's dictatorship, and it's almost given, it's not given like a lot of focus, but it is mentioned, so it's significant. But it is mentioned almost just to show the difference between these two nations that occupy this shared space, but showing the marked difference, the marked discrimination that occurs. So yeah, there's a lot that happens in just these 40-something pages. So those are the things that really struck me. Would love to hear from you. What was significant to you? Let's chat in the comments. We'll be back tomorrow with another check-in. For tomorrow, we're reading up to page 177, so I hope you join me for it. Until then, until we come back for another video, happy reading, happy CaribAthon, bye!